So as we await more information, Fox News has just learned this from two law enforcement sources that Trump has been indicted.
Did not.
I gotta put a suit on.
And the grand jury was out of town allegedly for a month as of yesterday. So this is quite interesting to hear after they were
oh yeah, baby,
for the month. Now, leading up to this, there was a lot of talk about whether this would even happen, considering Alvin Bragg, who is the Manhattan allegedly a misdemeanor charge. It's never been happened in the history of the New York Attorney's Office before, and there's been a lot of controversy about whether it was appropriate, given the president is a presidential candidate again, and whether it was politically motivated.
Now, does this mean he's going to jail? No, but does this mean it's kind of funny and we're going to have fun with it? Absolutely.
But we do know that the indictment would not be announced until it was stamped. The DA's office would then notify an attorney for the former president that he would then be indicted. At that point, the president is then free to make the information public himself. We are reporting this as we've learned it from two law enforcement officials.
He will get fingerprinted, and they'll get a mugshot. And then they'll plaster that mugshot all over the country for the next 2 years and run against a criminal. And that's what this is all about. No one wanted this. Not even the left wanted this. But now I'm thinking Bragg got embarrassed, because everything you heard over the last 48 hours is they were just going to put this to bed and take a break for a month. So I don't know if there's pressure put on him, because his numbers went up in the last couple weeks when this thing swirled. So maybe the left's calculating that indicting this guy is going to get him the nomination, and they think he's easier to beat.
And inform the results of the 2016 election. I'm completely shocked by this. When Trump said, I'm going to be indicted on Tuesday, I thought, okay, maybe it's not Tuesday, but this is coming.
I haven't tied a tie in so long.
They weren't meeting on their normal days. And then the letter that Alvin Bragg sent back in response to...
But I guess you never forget.
And said, basically, this is all
your invention. It's the only tie I own. I got it from my dad.
About an indictment. No one out of New York is talking about it.
Many years ago.
Due to the fact that there was a lot of pressure on him from liberals. I talked about it on air, saying that of all of the myriad of things that Donald Trump is under investigation for, this is not the one where you're going to be able to rally people around to say, yeah, this is unequivocally a thing that he did wrong. It was going to be what happened in Georgia with pressuring officials there to overturn the 2020
Bro, this is crazy.
election.
I can't believe it.
Which there is no evidence, but go ahead.
What, phone calls saying, find me 11,000.
What's your definition of find? Like, do you find something that you have to create, or do you find something that's already there?
Well, they weren't there, and it had been certified and
like,
examined and certified again.
Find me a good masseuse. I don't say create a new masseuse. Find me a masseuse.
You don't think that the tour of Donald Trump and all of his lawyers throughout the country trying to get the results overturned in states like Arizona and Pennsylvania and Georgia?
Georgia. I was just responding to Georgia.
Okay. So anyway.
Georgia was on your mind.
Always. He wants it too, though.
He doesn't want to be indicted. If you think he wants this, he doesn't want it. Hey, Dad, what are you looking at? It's not good. And it's horrible that Alvin Bragg, who's a joke in this town, who should get run out of town because crime's running wild, is going after this. If you get a haircut a couple weeks before an election and you pay for it out of your own pocket, not campaign funds, how is that a campaign finance felony? You were going to get a haircut anyway. You wanted to look good anyway. Just like he would have paid off this woman anyway,
you think
whether he was running for president or not.
Is the same as getting a touch-up on your hair?
Dude, come on, dude. Come on, it's just like a masseuse or a haircut. It is literally the lowest offense that you could get him on. Like, it's just the lowest offense that you could get him on, which is like campaign finance law mismanagement, which has happened regularly and routinely. Other people have had to pay basically just like a small fine, but I'm still going to enjoy it.
Absolutely not. He predicted then and said it would probably help my numbers. Now, as this has been brewing and we've been waiting on some potential action by the Manhattan DA, we have seen him climb in the polls. Our own polls show that he's added several points to his lead among GOP primary voters over the last few weeks while we knew this was percolating. A lot of folks will say this is baked in. So now we wait to see what happens. I do think the president, nobody I think Jesse's right. Nobody wants to be indicted, but I do think this president is very good, the former president, at making the best of whatever circumstances come his way. And I think he knows that if people see him in handcuffs, being dragged around, it lends to his argument that the establishment is against him, the deep state is against him. So not a positive, but I think that he knows how to turn it into one as best possible. So now we will wait to see what happens.
It's a felony charge for what is otherwise considered a misdemeanor in almost every single circumstance. It's only sister's wedding, Trump indicted. Absolutely, dude. So the interesting component here is literally that, well, one, there's a couple different things we got to talk about. Number one, Donald Trump has done a load of crimes, I believe, according to the Office of Ethics or the Citizens for Ethics Foundation, 53 crimes that he has committed since he's been in office, right? Or leading up to him running for the presidency. So he's done a lot of crimes. That much is clear. This is probably one of the lower versions of that, like in the lowest of low rungs. For it to be a felony, you need to show intent, and also you need to be able to prove that this was done with prior knowledge that it would be illegal. As far as I understand, you would have to literally also show that you did it specifically to save your campaign. Like, there are a lot of different components here that make this such a weird thing to indict Trump over. But, like, it's still funny. You know what I mean? It's still very funny. Does that make sense? Like, that's why I'm cherishing
is joining us now.